Now we'll take a look at a little bit more complex sort, the merge sort. So the pseudocode for this is a little bit more complex. First of all, it looks at, hey, if it's less than 2, then the sort is done. You just return the value. Outside of that, we take a midpoint halfway down through the list. We split the list in half. Then we see that here's the left side of the list and the right side of the list. And then we recursively keep calling that until we have lists of size 1, which is why we check for the 2 at the beginning. So we keep splitting the list until we get a whole bunch of lists of just 1, but they are kind of ordered to that point. Now the merge is where we pull them back together, and in those we look at the pairs of lists and we say which value is lower, and we combine them so that the smallest value is always in the left, and we keep pulling from those groups, where we split the list before. We pull them together so that we build those lists, and we keep adding paired lists with paired lists with paired lists until we get to the entire process. So in this case, the result is our resultant list, and we bring in the two halves, our left and rights, and bring them together, and we have our list. So what would that look like? So here's our example. So we take the list, we break it in half. So the first half, we have 4 values, and we take each of those and break them into 2s. And then we take each of those and break them into single ones. Then we put them back together. 3 is less than 8, 6 is less than 10. Then bringing the 2's back to that 4, we have 3, 6, 8, and 10. Now we do that with the other half of the list. We break it down into individuals. Then we do the sort, and we bring them back together. So we have 1, 2, 5, 8. Now I have 2 lists of 4, and we bring those 2 together, bringing the lowest values together. And we see that they come together, and we have one resultant list that we have merged back together from the individual lists that we broke up. So the code for this, we look at this, there's some recursion going on in here, so we have some functions. We have our test list at the top, and then we set a result list blank that we put the answer in. So we say, hey, let's make sure that we break the list at the midpoint into a left and a right, and keep recursively calling this until each list is less than 1. And then we go into our loop, looking at while the left is less than the right, and it's not always showing up. And then we sort through the end of the list. Then in our resultant output, we can see how the list keeps getting